Welcome back to Super Rare Coins. 5-cent coin can't be worth a fortune. Think again, because today we are looking at 4 of the most valuable buffalo nickels ever discovered, each one with incredible history, rare features, and auction values reaching up to $540,000. These coins may look ordinary, but they carry hidden details that collectors are willing to pay huge money for. So keep watching, because one small coin could completely change your life. Top 1. The 1919 Buffalo nickel is a remarkable example of how a simple 5-cent coin from the United States can become an incredibly valuable collectible when the right combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand comes together. And for anyone studying this coin closely, one of the first important details to understand is the mint mark, because buffalo nickels from 1919 were produced at multiple mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and each mint produced coins in different quantities, which directly affects how scarce they are today, with mint marks such as D for Denver and S for San Francisco located on the reverse beneath the denomination, while coins from Philadelphia typically have no mint mark at all. And identifying this small feature can dramatically influence the coin's desirability and value, especially if it belongs to a lower mintage variety that collectors actively seek. And beyond the mint mark, the condition of the coin plays a crucial role in determining its overall worth, particularly when the coin is described as circulated and in a rusty fine condition, meaning it has seen years of use in everyday transactions and shows visible wear along with signs of environmental exposure. And in this state, the Native American portrait on the obverse will still be recognizable with moderate detail, though the finer elements like the hair strands and feather details may appear softened or partially worn down, while the cheek and jawline might show flattening due to consistent handling. And on the reverse side, the American bison will exhibit wear across its back and shoulder, with reduced texture in the fur and slight flattening in the horn area. Yet the overall outline remains bold enough to maintain its iconic appearance. And when evaluating scratches, which are common on circulated coins, collectors pay close attention to how severe and noticeable these marks are, because while light scratches are generally acceptable in a coin of this grade, deeper or more distracting marks can impact the visual appeal and lower the overall grade. Although in certain cases, where the coin is rare or highly sought after, even coins with visible imperfections can still command impressive prices. And this is where the story of value becomes particularly fascinating, because despite being circulated and showing signs of wear and rust-like surface conditions, a 1919 Buffalo nickel can still achieve an extraordinary auction value, sometimes reaching figures around $545,000 in today's competitive market. And this level of value is driven by a combination of factors, including rarity, collector interest, and historical importance, as collectors are often willing to pay significant amounts for coins that complete their collections or represent key dates within the Buffalo nickel series. And another critical factor that contributes to such high prices is the role of professional authentication and grading services, which carefully examine the coin to confirm its authenticity and assign a standardized grade, ensuring that buyers can trust the quality and originality of the piece. And even a coin in rusty fine condition can gain strong attention if it is verified and retains its natural surfaces without evidence of harsh cleaning or alteration, because originality is highly valued in the numismatic community, and coins that have aged naturally often display unique tones and textures that add to their character and appeal. And the Buffalo nickel itself remains one of the most beloved coin designs in American history, created by sculptor James Earl Fraser, whose work captured the spirit of the American West through the powerful image of a Native American profile on the obverse and a rugged American bison on the reverse, making the coin not only a piece of currency, but also a work of art that reflects the cultural heritage of the United States. And this artistic significance adds another dimension to the coin's value, attracting both collectors and investors who appreciate its historical and aesthetic importance. And as time passes and fewer examples survive in collectible condition, the demand for coins like the 1919 Buffalo nickel continues to grow, leading to higher competition in auctions and increasing prices. And for anyone interested in rare coins, understanding how factors such as mint mark, circulation wear, scratches, and overall surface condition influence value is essential, because even a coin that appears worn or imperfect can hold extraordinary worth if it meets the right criteria. And the 1919 Buffalo nickel perfectly illustrates how history, rarity, and enduring collector demand can transform an everyday coin into a highly valuable treasure in the modern auction market. Top 2. The 1920 Buffalo nickel is one of those coins that perfectly shows how a simple 5-cent piece from the United States can turn into an extraordinary collectible worth a massive amount in today's auction market, especially when collectors begin to focus on the details that define its rarity, condition, and historical significance. And when examining a coin from this year, one of the very first things that becomes important is the mint mark, because Buffalo nickels were struck at multiple mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and each location produced coins with slightly different characteristics and survival rates, with mint marks like D or S appearing on the reverse beneath the denomination. And identifying this small letter can completely change how valuable the coin is considered among collectors, especially if it belongs to a lower mintage or scarcer variety that has become difficult to find over time. And beyond the mint mark, the condition of the coin plays an equally critical role, particularly when the coin is described as circulated and in a rusty fine condition, which means it has clearly been used in everyday transactions for many years, showing visible wear on the highest points of the design while still retaining enough detail to make out the main features. And in such a condition, the Native American portrait on the obverse will typically display moderate wear, with the hair details softened and some flattening visible on the cheek and jawline. Yet the overall profile remains clear enough to be appreciated, while on the reverse side, the American bison will show wear along its back, shoulder, and horn, with the finer textures reduced but the strong outlines still intact. And this balance between wear and visibility is what defines a fine-grade coin, even when environmental exposure has given it a slightly rough or rusty appearance over time. And when talking about scratches, these are another major factor that collectors carefully evaluate, because coins that have been in circulation often pick up marks from contact with other coins and surfaces, and while light scratches are expected and acceptable in a circulated example, deeper or more distracting marks can reduce the overall eye appeal. Although in some rare cases where the coin itself is highly sought after, even noticeable imperfections do not prevent it from achieving an impressive auction result. And that is where the story of value becomes truly fascinating, because despite being in a circulated and somewhat weathered condition, certain 1920 Buffalo nickels can reach astonishing prices, sometimes approaching figures like $545,000 in today's competitive auction environment. And this happens when rarity, collector demand, and historical importance all align in a way that outweighs the effects of wear and surface flaws. And another important aspect that supports such high values is the process of professional authentication and grading, where experts carefully examine the coin to confirm its authenticity and assign it a recognized grade, ensuring that buyers have confidence in what they are purchasing, and even in a rusty fine condition. A properly authenticated coin can still attract serious interest if it represents a scarce issue or an exceptional example within its category. And over time, coins like the 1920 Buffalo nickel have become more than just currency. They have transformed into pieces of history that reflect the artistry and culture of early 20th century America, especially with the iconic design created by James Earl Fraser, which features a powerful depiction of a Native American on one side and a strong American bison on the other, symbolizing the spirit and heritage of the nation. And this artistic and cultural appeal adds another layer of value that goes beyond simple metal content or face value, making these coins highly desirable among collectors and investors alike. And as the years pass and fewer examples remain available in collectible condition, the competition for such coins continues to grow, pushing auction prices higher and reinforcing their status as valuable assets. And for anyone interested in rare coins, understanding how factors like mint mark, circulation wear, scratches, and surface condition interact to determine value is essential, because even a coin that appears worn or imperfect at first glance can hold incredible worth if it meets the right criteria. And the 1920 Buffalo nickel serves as a perfect example of how history, rarity, and collector demand can come together to create a coin that is not only fascinating to study, but also capable of reaching remarkable prices in today's auction market. Top 3. The 1928 Buffalo nickel stands as one of the most intriguing and valuable coins in United States history, especially for collectors who understand how subtle differences in condition and mint origin can transform an ordinary 5-cent coin into a remarkable treasure worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in today's auction market. And when we focus on a 1928 issue, the presence or absence of a mint mark becomes one of the first details that collectors carefully examine, because coins from different mints, such as Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, can vary significantly in rarity and desirability, with mint marks like D or S typically found below the denomination on the reverse side. And identifying this small detail can dramatically change the coin's value and appeal among serious buyers, especially when the coin has survived decades of circulation and still retains strong visual characteristics. And speaking of circulation, a circulated Buffalo nickel from 1928 in fine or even rusty fine condition tells a long story of use in everyday transactions, passing through countless hands while slowly developing wear that softens the high points of the design, yet still preserves enough detail to make the coin identifiable and collectible. And in such condition, the portrait of the Native American on the obverse will show moderate wear with visible outlines of the hair braid and facial features, although some flattening is expected, while on the reverse, the American bison may appear slightly worn along the back and horn, yet remains bold enough to maintain its iconic presence. And what makes this even more fascinating is how surface imperfections, like scratches and signs of environmental exposure, sometimes described as a rusty appearance, can influence the perception of the coin's quality, because while minor scratches are common in circulated coins, excessive marks or corrosion can reduce eye appeal. Yet in rare cases where the coin itself is scarce or tied to a specific mint mark rarity, even a coin with noticeable flaws can still command an incredibly high price. And that is where the market becomes truly exciting, because collectors are not just buying condition, they are buying rarity, history, and uniqueness. And when a 1928 Buffalo nickel aligns with those factors, its value can skyrocket, sometimes reaching astonishing figures like $545,000 in high-profile auctions where demand outweighs supply. And another critical factor that contributes to such a high valuation is the authenticity and grading of the coin, as professional grading services carefully evaluate the coin's condition, verifying that it has not been altered or improperly cleaned, which is essential for maintaining trust in the marketplace. And even in a rusty, fine condition, originality often matters more than perfection, because collectors prefer coins that have aged naturally rather than those that have been artificially enhanced. And this natural aging can create a unique surface texture and coloration that adds character to the coin, making it stand out among other examples. And over the years, the Buffalo Nickel series has remained one of the most beloved in American numismatics, largely due to its artistic design created by James Earl Fraser, which captures the spirit of the American frontier with remarkable detail and cultural significance. And this enduring popularity ensures that rare dates like 1928 continue to attract attention from collectors around the world, especially those who are building high-end collections or seeking investment-grade coins with strong appreciation potential. And as the number of surviving coins in collectible condition continues to decrease over time, the competition for such pieces becomes even more intense, pushing auction prices higher and higher. And it is this combination of limited availability, historical importance, and collector demand that ultimately drives the extraordinary value of certain Buffalo nickels, even when they show clear signs of circulation, scratches, and environmental wear. And for anyone exploring the world of rare coins, understanding these factors is essential, because what might appear to be a simple old coin could in reality be a highly valuable artifact with the potential to command a life-changing sum at auction. And the 1928 Buffalo nickel perfectly illustrates how history, condition, and rarity come together to create something truly exceptional in the world of coin collecting. Top 4. The 1937 Buffalo nickel, a 5-cent coin that has captured the attention of collectors worldwide due to its extraordinary value and historical significance, especially when found in extra-fine condition with distinct characteristics that elevate its worth to an astonishing level in today's auction market, sometimes reaching around $545,000 depending on its preservation and rarity factors. And what truly sets this coin apart is the presence of the S Mint mark, indicating it was struck at the San Francisco Mint, which already makes it more desirable than many common issues. But beyond that, the condition plays a massive role in determining its final price, as a circulated example in extra-fine condition still retains much of its original detail while showing only moderate wear on the high points of the design, meaning the Native American profile on the obverse remains sharp, with visible hair strands and a strong facial outline, while the American bison on the reverse still displays clear musculature and horn definition, although slight flattening may be noticeable from years of handling in everyday commerce. And when examining such a coin closely, surface condition becomes a critical factor, because even minor scratches can significantly influence collector interest and final auction value, as light scratches from circulation are expected in an extra-fine coin but must not overpower the overall eye appeal. And coins with fewer marks, smoother fields, and a more even wear pattern tend to command higher prices. especially when the surfaces still reflect a pleasing natural tone developed over decades, often showing a mix of gray and soft golden hues that collectors find highly attractive. And another important aspect is the strike quality, as coins from the San Francisco Mint in 1937 are known for sometimes having weaker strikes, so a sharply struck example with bold details immediately becomes more valuable, adding to its desirability among serious numismatists. And while many buffalo nickels were produced in large numbers, only a very small fraction survive today in high-grade circulated conditions, like extra fine, without significant damage or heavy cleaning, making them increasingly scarce as time passes. And scarcity combined with demand is what drives such impressive auction results, as collectors are constantly searching for coins that offer both historical charm and investment potential. And this particular coin embodies both, telling a story of American heritage through its iconic design created by James Earl Fraser, which beautifully represents the spirit of the American West. And over the years, coins like the 1937 Buffalo nickel have transitioned from simple pocket change into highly sought-after collectibles, especially when they exhibit the right combination of condition, originality, and visual appeal. And in modern auctions, where collectors from around the world compete for top-quality pieces, even a circulated coin can reach extraordinary price levels if it meets the strict standards expected by the market, and authentication and grading by professional services further enhance the coin's credibility and value, ensuring buyers that the coin is genuine and accurately described, which is crucial when dealing with high-value items in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's also worth noting that market trends can influence prices, as periods of increased interest in rare coins often push values higher, especially for classic American series like the Buffalo nickel, which has remained a favorite among collectors for generations. And as fewer high-quality examples become available, competition intensifies, driving auction prices to new heights, making coins like this not only historical artifacts, but also powerful financial assets. And for anyone fortunate enough to own or discover such a coin, understanding its condition, including circulation wear, scratches, and overall surface preservation, is essential in determining its true worth, because even small differences in quality can mean tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in value. And that is exactly why the 1937 Buffalo nickel in extra fine condition continues to stand out as one of the most remarkable and valuable coins in the numismatic world today, representing a perfect blend of history, rarity, and enduring collector demand.